Now, at the Management Advantage, ever since I've known Chuck Sykes, the #1 goal is to educate. How we view that word is different than everybody. We don't want to just fill your mind. We want to inspire. You know the best thing about what QDM is all about? It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're white. It doesn't care if you're black. It really doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what religion you practice. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter if you're Amish. It doesn't matter if you're English. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter if you own lots of land or you don't own any land. It doesn't care. But what QDM does care about is for you to grab this philosophy and take it to a level that you're capable of. In the words of Teddy Roosevelt, it wants you to do what you can with what you have where you're at. It wants you to be successful.
What we got here?
100% engineering. This is what happens when you're not totally prepared, which is the story of my life. And your help runs the trailer out of fuel down there.
All right, quit talking and keep the juice going.
The battery cables are getting hot too, by the way.
Can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Can't talk and hot wire a fuel pump at the same time.
I met Chuck 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, just through the Management Advantage when it was still on Outdoor Channel, and called and talked to him a little bit. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I just really wanted somebody to come, not really a pat on the back, but just say, hey, just for some confirmation. And that's how I met Chuck and Casey. And the next thing you know is I'm part of the company and having a good time with it, and never really knew that I was doing as good as I was. There's about 30 or 40 acres of property right here, and I sectioned it off in about 10 acres. Taking the bulldozer and run through and just made these fire breaks on just a skid row from where we thinned it a couple of years ago. And it makes it very easy for us to manage. You can burn a 10-acre piece of property in, what, 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And
that's what you want to do. You don't want to burn 400 or 500 acres. If you've got 400 or 500 acres, block it up, make it like a patchwork quilt where you've got different ages of vegetation coming back that meets all the requirements for deer, turkeys, and quail. You can do it. Breaking it up and putting these fire breaks in is a huge component to it. We're into October, and honestly this is a little earlier than I typically plant, but we had that hurricane come up through the East Coast. It's pushed a lot of water, it's pushed cooler temperatures, so we're going to take advantage of that and start planting some of these fire breaks. The first fire break we're going to plant is the one that we put in when we burn up here in early March. And rather than having to go in year after year and break these fire breaks up, we're going to have them broken up and we're going to put them green. And that way we've got permanent year-round fire breaks. It's going to help cut down on erosion up and down all these hills, and it's going to feed the deer, and more importantly, it's going to feed the turkeys. So putting in this blend, and y'all, the main thing that we're wanting, all this stuff is going to be good for the deer and stuff this winter with the peas and wheat and oats. See those little bitty tiny seeds right there? That is Durana clover. Over the years, this is the best thing that I've seen in our conditions. It's going to be shaded. The pH is not perfect because this is in a pine stand. It can handle grazing pressure. It can handle drought stress. For me, it is the go-to plant down here in my winter food plots, that and a little chicory. But on these fire breaks, we're looking for a permanent 365-day-a-year spot that can be used for us to travel, game to travel, and also as a green fire break when we come in this late fall and early spring and start our burning again. It's the best of both worlds right here. Don't worry about leaving some grass right here. All that's fine. It doesn't have to be beautiful for it to be effective. Y'all, this is a food plot and it's a fire break. It's not an ag field. So don't break it to death. We've got good seed to soil contact, we've got moisture. This is going to come up, then we can keep it maintained with herbicide to get rid of all the weeds. It'll be perfect. Don't break it to death and take a chance on rain coming in and losing a lot of your topsoil.
But now this is my thing to do. This is what I love. I love the planting, the seeing the deer grow. You know, we've got 8 or 9 years of pictures down at Sandwood now, and you can tell the difference in the 115, 120 inch bucks, and now we're seeing 150, 160 inch bucks, you know, fairly regular down there. And just to know that I'm a part of that and helping do that is why I got into it and why I love it.
About 16 years ago, I was introduced to QDM by some friends, and if you were to ask me, you know, back then why I started practicing quality management, I would look you dead in the eye and said, oh, it's all about the antlers. Fast forward to today, I'm 41 years of age, and that's just not where I'm at today. And you know, by definition, I am a Christian, and I'm a sinner. And you know, I'm not a religious guy. I don't go to church, but I believe that, you know, there is a God, and He wants to have a relationship with me, and Him knowing me, as corny as this sounds, I think we're using QDM to have that relationship. You know, I'm very fortunate to have a job where I spend a lot of time on a tractor, and that tractor time is my therapy. It's a place where I can think about my past, I can think about my future, I can think about how to be a better dad, how to be a better husband that my wife deserves. And you know, it allows me to have that conversation with them. And on top of that, you know, once again, I'm very fortunate to spend a lot of time in a tree stand, and you know, whether it be 10 seconds, a minute, or several conversations throughout the hunt, I make sure that I do have those conversations with God and ask for forgiveness for being a complete idiot on a daily basis. You know, that's just where I'm at today. And QDM has allowed me to have that relationship that I want, to make myself a better person. And here you thought it was all about killing deer. Oh no.